Hello, welcome back to Becky Bakes. Today I'm going to make chocolate muffins, affectionately known in some places as Mega Muffins. You'll see why. So for this, you need the oven on first of all to gas mark 5, which is 190 Celsius or 170 fan. And you need 10 paper cases in a muffin tin. It's deeper than the usual bun tin, and of course the cases are that little bit bigger. They don't always fall to the bottom, but when the mixture goes in, they'll drop down. Don't be tempted to think you'll make them smaller and make 12. You won't get the same result, so it really is 10 paper cases. We sieve together the dry ingredients, and there are more ingredients than most recipes, but they're there for a good reason. So the first thing that goes in is 250 grams of plain flour, and to that we add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Don't use self-raising flour, it really is plain flour and baking powder. So 1 teaspoon. Don't get them too heaped. There we are, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And then to that we add half a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. This all helps with the fluffy texture and the rise. So that's right, half a teaspoon, there we are. And then we also add half a teaspoon of salt. This is proper chemistry lesson. You get a better texture and a bigger rise. When these get wet, they produce carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide evaporates, the bubbles set in the mixture, and they're replaced by air. So that's what gives you your lovely texture. So half a teaspoon of salt, there is some in here. There we are. And finally to that we add 4 tablespoons of cocoa. Unsweetened cocoa, not drinking chocolate, because drinking chocolate has milk powder and sugar added to it, and that will upset the balance of your ingredients. So just ordinary cocoa. And then we sieve those together. You can stir it a bit if you want to, just to help it through. And what this does is to really blend together the baking powder, the bicarb and the salt with the flour, so that it's properly mixed when it gets into the bowl. Cocoa sometimes has lumps as well, so you can use the back of your spoon and just push those through to make sure you get all your cocoa. If you do get lumps of anything in the bottom, don't be tempted to tip them in, because they've formed a lump for some reason. It could be it's got a bit damp, and if that goes in your mixture you will have a great pocket of cocoa. So any lumps of cocoa, tip them away, but not in the bowl. Now, having got our dry ingredients, we then switch to our liquids, and we start off in a jug with 250 ml of milk, and to that we're going to add 90 ml of vegetable oil. I could have put the oil in here and measured it, but if you're measuring a small amount of something, it's more accurate in a small jug. So I've measured it separately, and now I'm going to add that to my milk. And the next thing that will go in is a beaten egg. And I always like to crack it first into a bowl. I have once had an egg that was bad. It was very unpleasant, and if it had gone into the mixture, it would have all had to be thrown away. So this way I'm checking there's no shell. Give it a bit of a mix. In it goes. Get all that in. And then we also add some vanilla extract. Normally it's essence that comes in little bottles like this, but this is a vanilla extract, and we need to have a teaspoon of this. So back to my measuring spoons. There we are, a teaspoon of that. Right, so next of all we're going to put our sugar in, caster sugar, and that is 100 grams. And we have also got 75 grams of chocolate chips. So all the dry ingredients together, and we simply tip the liquids into the dry ingredients. Once the two get mixed together, the gas starts to be released, and so at that point you've got to be quite quick. You've got to get the mixture into the paper cases before you've lost your raising agent. And with muffins, you can mix quickly and not terribly thoroughly. Don't worry if you've got a little bit of the powder left. So give those a mix, and then in it goes. Right, I haven't got my rubber mat today because I want to be able to turn this because I'm mixing quickly. So round and round. It looks quite unpromising, but you'll notice very quickly that the texture changes and it gets more cakey very, very quickly. Right, I'm going to stop at that, bring in my paper cases, and I'm going to have 2 spoons. Now, a good, see how thick it is already? Good dollop, and down goes the paper case. Good spoonful. When you get to the end, if you've got some left over, just quickly see which one looks as though it needs a bit more and add it. But these have got to get in the oven as quickly as you can, and they're going to cook for about 20 to 25 minutes. Right, that's it, they're going in. All right. There we are. Very well risen, lovely and brown. They will need to sit there for about 10 minutes because if you take them out too soon, they haven't got the set structure to actually hold up their weight. So leave them sitting for a bit and take them out, put them on a cooling tray, and share them with your friends. Well, here we are. I think you can see why we call them Mega Muffins, and you can see the muffin top, how it's come over the top slightly. They're very good to eat and they're very good to share. So I hope you have a go at this and enjoy doing it. Like, share, subscribe, check out the website for the recipe, and happy cooking!